hot nuts, 10 cents a bag. I've got hot nuts, I don't like to brag. Now my nuts, they are sweet, all the little girls like to eat. I've got hot nuts, 10 cents a bag.
I unearthed this little beauty, a little addition to our hot nuts pantheon. It's a Christmas miracle. This is a song from 1959. This woman, well, it's from before that. The woman died in 1959. Faye Richmond is the woman. And she did an album of dirty-ish songs and had her own Hot Nuts version. She also had a song called My Kitty Is Just for Daddy, although she didn't use the word kitty. So, you know. But her Hot Nuts song, very exciting.
I've got hot nuts, 10 cents a bag, not 5 cents.
Oh, good. Not 5 cents. Yeah.
Cents a bag.
Yeah. Alan, please Google the rule of nines explaining burn percentage. I'm a paramedic, and I don't want to break my streak of not calling in. Thank you. I appreciate that. A couple of people turned me on to that. The rule of nines, where that burn unit doctor said that Jay Leno had been burned on 7% of his body. I genuinely didn't understand how he arrived at that number, but if he's using, clearly that's medical terminology I wasn't hip to. Rule of nines for burns. Front and back of each arm and hand equal 9% of the body's surface area. Chest equals 9%. Stomach is 9%. What? Do they just go, yeah, it looks like 9%. Front and back of each leg and foot equal 18% of the body's surface area. So head and neck constitutes 9%. So that doctor was trying to tell us dummies 2% of his head was not burned.
That doesn't seem right because if...
Well, I'm looking at the rule of nines.
Is 2% of his hair... Is 2% of his head hair? Because it looks like all his hair was there.
Well, I don't know. Boy, you want to talk about, as I'm looking at this chart here, and they're like, this is 9%. This is 9%. Passive aggressiveness in medicine, genital area, 1%. Speak for yourself, Chode. Well, anyway, thank you for getting me that. But there's your Faye Richmond Hot Nuts song that I stumbled onto from the early 50s. The album is called Spicy Songs Sung by Outstanding Artists. And the woman's name is Faye Richmond, and it's not that great, but there's a bunch of people doing those kinds of songs. She died in 1959, complications from the birth of her third child. But she is topless on the album cover. So there's something for everybody. Speaking of hot nuts, Britney Spears. She went through a Jack in the Box drive-through and was crying. And now she's mad at the person who tried to console her. She put him on blast. Said she went to Jack in the Box for the first time in her life. And she was very, very upset as she was driving through. The person at the window noticed she'd been crying and said, "It's all going to be okay." And she...
Did they say it like Harvey Keitel in Reservoir Dogs? Because that would have made me very happy. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
Buscemi's bleeding out in the back seat.
Not Buscemi. Tim Roth.
Oh, Tim Roth. Sorry. Yeah, Tim Roth.
He was Mr. Orange, I believe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Britney Spears said, "Normally I forget to eat. I wait too long, and if something goes wrong at the house, it's like the world has ended. So I got in my car, and I was crying, and I saw Jack in the Box, and I've never eaten there a day in my effing life," is what she said.
So like unnecessary curse words.
She's trying to reacclimate to life. Like everybody's giving her a hard time, including me sometimes. But I mean, the bottom line is she's trying to reacclimate to being able to do things.
It's just funny. It's just like, so I walked into the room and sat the F down.
Yeah.
I looked at Bill. He's so effing nice.
That's even too sensical for her. It's got to be something like
Completely
so
out
I
of
put
context.
on my effing shoes.
It's so like it's like when you're an adult and you're first learning how to curse and you wanted to say like
Is that when you learned to curse? Because I learned to curse pretty young. It's like when you're a kid. Yeah, like
when you're a kid and you're like
you're with your friends on the playground and you're like, oh, there's not teachers around. We can start saying some swear words, and you're just throwing out some F's and some S's.
you're a pain in my A.
My daughter will do that. I'll say ass, or it'll show up on TV or something. And she'll say, that's a swear. And I go, well, not to grown-ups, really. I said, there are some swears that are just considered, poor form for a kid. I'm like, I wouldn't want you walking around saying ass. But I'm like, but adults don't really think of it that way. There are some hardcore curse words, and she knows what those are, too. But I'm like, so
She knows them all?
I mean, she knows the F word. Yeah, she knows the F word. She knows S word for poop.
Those are the basic ones. Those are
the basic ones.
Because I don't think I think probably 5th or 6th grade before I heard like the C word.
Well, it seems as though every little kid learns the F word because they see it as graffiti. I
Yeah.
did. She did. I distinctly remember being in a public bathroom. I was in the stall, and my dad was waiting just outside the stall in the bathroom, and it was covered in graffiti on the inside. And I said the F word to my dad and said, what is it? And he's like, that's like the worst one that's out there. He didn't belabor it, but he's like, that's, you tell a kid, that's not one that I want you saying. That's one that's going to get a lot of people looking at you in a really bad way if that's what you say.
One time my daughter got in trouble. Her and a neighborhood kid were horsing around, and they knocked over the slide and like scratched our neighbor's house. And this neighbor was definitely a Karen. Like she was always in everybody else's business and was exaggerating the story to the point where she said that my daughter called her the C word, and then my daughter goes, what is the C word?
I don't even know the word, right?
Yeah, and then I said it, and she goes, I don't even know what that is. Like, and it was such a genuine reaction. I was like, oh, this lady's lying. This lady's lying about.
Of course she's
stuff.
lying.
Right.
A kid called her the C word.
Right.
Like, it's all projection.
It was very funny, though.
You got to be able to read the room if you're going to blame a kid for saying something.
Just my daughter's like super innocent reaction and saying the word without any like hesitation, because she literally had no idea what it meant and had never heard it before, because she was 8 years old at the time. She didn't know that word. And it was very funny to me. And it's one of those moments where, like, as a parent, you're like, okay, what just happened is super duper funny. But I cannot start laughing right now.
Right. It also seems, too, that the C word is one that is almost exclusively said. You don't ever see that as graffiti.
No.
You never see the C word written out. Unless it's in, like, a birthday card to your aunt or something like that. But, and you've misspelled it. But, yeah, that one might be said, but not written. But Britney Spears crying, driving through that Jack in the Box drive-through. She said, I saw that big sign of pictures of food, and I was like, holy S word for poop. This big man at the effing window gave me pity, and apparently that made her mad. Rather than the guy going, now listen, her blood sugar was probably cratering,
Yeah.
she hadn't eaten, whatever. She's all kinds of all over the place. But she said that she was very offended at this guy telling her it was going to be okay. Guy's working at a Jack in the Box.
And he's telling
like,
Britney
hey,
Spears, hey,
it's going to
it
be
gets
okay.
better. You're going to be okay.
And so she went on her Instagram, which she recently reactivated. When she got back into society, I think she had deactivated her Instagram. And it's a lot of hand bra photos and, general shenanigans.
And then saying saying that she's not going to do the hand bra photos anymore. And then 20 minutes later, there's a new one.
And this poor guy she's married to, who nobody knows who he is, he just pops his head out every so often and is like, hey, she's doing fine. She's doing the best she can. Mm-hmm. He's basically there to be her PR person. Anyway, the big guy at the effing window, she said, offered her pity, and that really pissed her off. Holy hog heavens. I got a cookies and cream milkshake with a double cheeseburger, and I had been crying in my car. WTF did he just say to me? He doesn't know me, and I sure as hell didn't know his ass.
But he does know
So
you.
why did
Everybody
he
knows
say
you.
that? It's all going to be okay. I was offended. You don't know me. You're not my blood, so go F yourself.
She's so.
Listen, this
she's held
is.
it in for so long. She's like, I'm letting it rip. I don't care.
Yeah, she's taking it out on people that are being nice to her and not nice to her. People have been so terrible to her for so long that she doesn't know when another person is showing genuine concern for her.
Yeah, because she thinks
You don't know me. Oh, you're going to be okay. You look great. Shut up.
we love you, Brittany. I had a friend of mine who is he's a flight attendant, or he works for an airline. I don't know if he's necessarily a flight attendant, but he works for an airline. And he drove all the way up to Miami. He lived like outside of Miami, and he drove all the way to MIA in Miami traffic to meet her. And she didn't even
From where?
He lived like outside of Miami, but it was still he heard from someone that Britney Spears booked a ticket and she was getting like first class accommodations or whatever, and so he's like, I have to meet her. I guess his coworkers told him what time she was going to be there, and he drove up there to meet her, and she was just going to the Bahamas with her boyfriend, and he walked through and he's like, have a good vacation, Brittany. And she just took it and she didn't say anything to him, didn't even look at him, didn't even acknowledge him. And he was like, oh my gosh, I lived. I'm like, she literally took her ticket from you.
But also, what's the point of that? Like, just to see her?
In person. Yep.
Yeah.
He wanted to see her in person. He just wanted to say, have a good vacation, Brittany. And he filmed it secretly. And he's like, oh my God.
That's not cool.
I met her. I'm like, dude. She literally didn't even look at you. I want to see if I could find the video because it was the
Why did he film it?
But didn't you feel the same way when your friend told you the story that they saw Beyonce?
He didn't film it though.
Yeah, but you were telling the story like you saw Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce got out of her car. Your friend goes, hey. She turned to look at him before she walked in the hotel. And to your friend, now they're besties.
But the thing is, he was actually working that day. He said he got to work, and he said, who the hell is here? Like, is it the president? He's never seen so many black SUVs. And then that was the whole commotion. This guy was not even on the schedule for today. He just got word that Britney was going to
Right, but I'm just saying he
Bahamas.
did work there. He could walk in and nobody would stop him.
Alan, can you think of a place where you could see a wide variety of black SUVs or any other color you need?
I mean, I would think classic Volkswagen and Menor.
There you go.
I mean, they've got, oh my God, really runs the gamut. From small cars to big luxury vehicles. I'm sure some of them are black. You get a black Atlas? Oh, holy cow. I mean, that's living. Anywho. Hey, Drew.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Drew?
Not much. I just wanted to talk to you about why percentages of burns on a victim is important, and then it's not the rule of 9. Now, I had a friend who worked in an emergency room, and he told me what they do is they take the percentages of how much you're burned, add your age, and that's your odds of surviving. So if you're 57 and you have 3% of your burns, your odds of survival are 60%. So, the more you burn, the more you get burned, and the older you are, the less likely you are to live.
No, I understand. And again, this is one of these, my point was simply that this is one of these systems that they just decide upon. I don't know that there's any inherent, quantitative. They just go, okay, this is this. Like a BMI, a body mass index is notoriously inaccurate for how big or small people are. Yeah.
Right. I understand. I just thought you might like to know that kind of information.
I like to know all of it. Thank you, Drew. The percentages of burns.
Are you saying boo or burns? I was saying burns.
So Britney Spears very upset at that guy in the Jack in the Box.
She needs to go back.
I mean, people listen.
She needs a new caretaker. What are they called?
Conservator.
Yeah.
I think she still has one. She's not out of that. Oh, maybe she did get rid of it completely. I thought she got her finances back, but I thought she still had to take like her medication through a conservatorship.
These people work in the drive-thrus. I bet they never thought. Back in the day, I didn't work fast food, but most of my friends did. And they would say, I want to work the window because you're on the headset, You're just taking money and giving people food. You're not making it. You're not sweating it out over a grill. Now you're like on the front goddamn lines at that window. Whether it's Britney, I got a friend who's on the air in St. Louis, and she sent me the story of something that just happened there. The guy in the KFC window got shot because he told the dude they were out of corn. Hey, we're out of corn. Told him at the box. And the guy's screaming at him through the box and then pulls up.
Y'all got popcorn? Pop, pop, pop.
This guy. Popcorn. There it is.
Got that popcorn chicken.
But how the hell do you run out of corn in Missouri? It's their number one crop. We're out of corn.
I mean, they can't just go and get it from the field. There's
Why
still
not?
suppliers.
Cook it up. It's right there. Come on. You got corn? Nope. Oh, well, that's now I can't walk either. All right. Well, now my arm hurts, but we don't have more corn. You can shoot me all you want. It doesn't give us more corn. The guy working the drive-thru window is in critical condition. The kid went outside to talk to the driver, and he walked back in with a gunshot wound.
Oh,
These people, I hear a lot of people complaining at the notion of fast food or retail workers making $15, $16, $17 an hour.
When you do stuff like this.
And they're like, there's people with actual skills that don't make that kind of money. I'm like, there's people driving through with guns because they're out of corn. I mean, granted, it's America and you can be shot and killed anywhere you work, but Jesus Christ. Hey, do you have corn? It's not even an entree. It's a side. Hey, you got corn? I'm sorry, man. We're out of corn. All right, I'll be right there.
Yeah, who gets corn as a side? Like,
what?
Corn as a side at a fast food restaurant is never going to be good.
No.
KFC corn is pretty legit. I will say that.
I don't know, man.
They're turning the one that's closest to me, I just found out they're turning into a Dunkin' Donuts because nobody ever went in there. And the PNC Bank across the street is becoming a Chipotle. But the KFC, once in a while I would go through KFC, but I would usually just eat sides. I'm not a big fried chicken guy, but if you got their coleslaw.
I like their coleslaw.
It was the place that I would get potatoes and gravy and corn. That's pretty tight.
All right.
They used to have a ham sandwich that was pretty legit too, but I don't think they do that anymore. It's not KFH. It's KFC. What?
Oh, boy. That one aimed
What do you mean you're out of corn? You're out of corn? What do you mean you're out of corn? I've got a perfectly normal response to that you are out of corn. We've still got fried chicken. No, I wanted corn.
I'm just saying, like, the corn at KFC is the same. It's just a can of corn that they heated up.
Yes.
The gravy is worth shooting over. The gravy, can I just get that? I get that just in a bowl. Can I have that?
He wants
soup?
a beverage, like the Jim Gaffigan bit.
Now that
You guys out of gravy? Yeah, we're out of gravy. I'm sorry. Poundcake's gonna start throwing those hands.
Now that I'm about to be off my diet tomorrow, I'm about to just order stupid stuff. Like, can I just have a whole bowl of gravy, please? I don't
even think they have gravy over there. We're gonna we doing a bang bang? We're going two places.
Mukbang, yeah. It's BYOG over there at Shake Shack.
I didn't say a Shake Shack. I'm just saying there's a KFC by my house.
Poundcake's auditioning for The Whale 2.
No.
All right, good.
Smallest I've ever been.
I've got to take a break. If you want to text 35192, I'll have Cleveland Monsters tickets for you. I want to get some hockey under your belt. The week between, is it between Christmas and New Year's, or is it after the first of the year? Either way, I will have tickets for you, 4 of them, in fact, to see your Cleveland Monsters. December 29 is when it happens at the Romo Fijo, so we'll do that coming back.
The Alan Cox Show.
On our free